Thank you for coming tonight and joining us as we celebrate the transition of our St. Joseph Montessori School 8 years from middle school to high school. Please join me for a brief moment of silence and then the invocation. Thank you. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. May God bless you and sustain you on this day of transition from one stage of life to your next. May the Creator of this vast universe keep you safe as you go forth from this place that has nourished your mind and your soul. May the Almighty look down upon you and give you success in all your endeavors, courage in all your struggles and challenges, understanding in all that is new to you, wisdom to choose what is right and what is good, perseverance in all you undertake, serenity and peace in the knowledge that you are not alone, that you are loved. May the Lord of all look kindly upon you this day and forever. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Now let me welcome to the stage St. Joseph Montessori, head of school, Brenda Hood.
No? Sorry. Let's try. No? No. We should have checked the microphones. Back up. That's good evening. There we go. Thank you, Brian, very much. So, graduates, every year I ask the middle school team to give me a word that describes this year's graduating class. This year they actually gave me several words. So does anybody want to guess what their words were? Come on. Harper.
Goofy.
That was not one, but I would say. Anybody else have a guess? Okay, I'll tell you. They said you're flexible, you're diverse, you're creative, you're bright, you're fun, and you're resilient. And so I decided to go with resilient. You are resilient. You've been through so much. School shutdowns, classroom adjustments, mask, quarantining, on and on. And you have shown through even the darkest days. From where does our resilience come? The inner drive to keep coming back, challenge after challenge. It comes from our willingness to change, to grow, and to bond. The trees that bend the heaviest winds are not the ones with the sturdiest trunks. Those snap in two. The trees that survive have deep roots and pliant trunks. They endure through their flexibility. 8 years, change will happen. As a matter of fact, change is happening. Teachers will change, schools will change, courses will change, and systems will change. And you must, and I have faith that you will find, even in the changing winds, your deep roots. I hope that SJMS have planted those deep roots in you. Those things are uncompromising. Those roots are love, kindness, compassion, honesty, hard work, perseverance, and faith. How do you affect the green sprout? Move the water, move the light. The growing life moves towards its sustenance. We are all that way. We move toward the things that nurture us just as we grow, thicker skins when we have been challenged. Remember, when we are willing to bend, we can find our light, our water. When we are willing to bend, we find our needs are met. You have shown the ability to bend, to persevere, and to demonstrate resilience. I am so proud of each of you. Thank you for the joys, smiles, frustrations, learning, challenges, inspiration, creativity, and laughs. You will be amazing as you bend in the winds to come. And now, for our graduate presentation, please welcome Harper.
To be completely honest, I don't know if I'm ready for this. It finally hit me that tomorrow is the last day I will be at this school. 11 entire years of my life at the same school are over, and I wouldn't change it for the world. It was so special to know every day when I came into school, I had a whole lifetime before I would have to leave. But when I walked into school on the first day of 8th grade, I knew these would be my final months here. From all the picture books I made in Children's House to finishing my work on Monday every week in primary, I can't remember it too well, but that's always because the years felt so short. I would like to thank Miss Bethany for helping Finn while he was there, and knowing the difference between me and him after he left. Now, imagine 4th grade Harper in the upper elementary classroom trying to fit in with the 6th graders. Just kidding, I fit in like a buckle. That's only because of the teachers who welcomed me in. Sarah, I would give you an A+ for your enthusiasm, laughs, cool shoes, and not letting me get away from who I am. Now Harper's moved on to middle school. New teachers, a new room, and I was so excited. This is when I had first met Brian and Hillary. From the first day of 7th grade, little did I know that these would be 2 fantastic years. I could come home every day and tell you that I didn't like 7th grade, but I would be lying to you. I guess the library, separation masks, and not being able to see my 8th grade friends wasn't ideal, but I wouldn't have wanted it any other way. The class trip was just a cherry on top of 7th grade year. I can honestly say that that was one of the most memorable things that has happened to me at SJ Mess, and I would do anything to go back to it. Now 8th grade has come just like that. It feels like 11 years have passed in the blink of an eye. 8th grade was an interesting but so memorable year. I learned so much this year, from actual school information to just knowing how to keep moving forward. I still don't understand how my teachers let me come back from all the school I missed from soccer and vacation. To think that I would not have been at SJMS if it wasn't for my amazing moms. The fact that they knew this would be a good fit for me and Finn amazes me every day. Thank you for dropping me off every day. Thank you for picking me up. Thank you for coming to Girlfriend's Day. Thank you for keeping up with me through this whole adventure. You guys have inspired me to live with what I have rather than think about what I don't. And what I have here is very special, so I genuinely can't thank you enough. I want to thank Christina for always believing in me when I thought I could do something, and then always being there to talk. Jen, you have become my school sister, and I would always go to you if I needed a smile, and I will always remember that. 7th and 8th grade would have not been so great if Brian and Hillary were not in it. Hillary's classes were ones I would always be excited for. You always wanted to try new things and were willing to let me try too. You believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. You always wanted me to be myself because you would laugh at anything I would say. I can proudly say that algebra was one of my favorite classes to be in. You always wanted us to expand our mind, even if they were out in outer space or you explaining something. I would not be prepared if it wasn't for you, so thank you. Brian is one of the most kind people I will ever meet. He always made time for us, even if his life outside of school was packed. Whenever I would go on a trip, Brian was the first person I would want to give a word-for-word description of what I did, even if it took me a solid hour to get through one day of my trip. No matter how frustrated Brian would be with me, he always knew I would make the right decision in the end. You have so much faith in me academically and in sports. I don't know how someone could not get angry with someone like me talking all day long, but Brian didn't. I would like to thank you to the moon and back for helping me manage my school and soccer. It's taught me a lot. I'm going to miss all my toddler and children's house friends. Thank you so much for always giving me a huge smile at the start of the day. Now my amazing friends that I've made in this community. All of you guys have made these years so special. Knowing that every day of the week you guys would always be there was great. No matter how much I would argue, all of us would be fine at the end of the day. A special thanks to Atticus and Nick for giving me a ride home every day. And then I could not be more excited knowing that I have Lucy and Nick K coming to high school with me. Nick and I have been friends for the whole time I've been at SJMS, and I'm so excited that we can continue that through high school. Just a thank you to my whole class who have made my years here so special, and I wouldn't change it for the world. So as Nelson Mandela once said, it always seems impossible till it's done. Thank you.
Thank you to all present here today, everyone who is a part of FGMS, Brenda, our supportive head of school, to our teachers, parents, families, and friends. I appreciate you being here today. You have all helped us shape into the people you see here today. And I can say with total confidence that without you, we would have become very different. As students and friends, we have made many memories together, many good and some bad, but most of which we can look back upon and laugh. We went through so much during the past 2 years. We often clashed over things of little importance, and despite the fighting, we never hesitated to have each other's backs. I consider myself lucky to have met you all and be a part of the strong bond we have created. We have had some of the best teachers who truly cared about us and taught us with passion. They gave everything they had in hopes of making us great helpers to society. I have known you all for a short amount of time, but it feels like forever. I know that each and every one of you has something special to offer, but without you guys, I would not be so confident. I'm counting on seeing you conquer your life in your own fantastic way, and I know we will keep in touch. Up until recently, I felt scared whenever I thought about finishing school and starting a new chapter. But standing here today, after going through this year, I am filled with excitement to venture into another world and offer all I have. I would like to end with a quote, "Here's to the months that turn to years, with the friends that turn into family. Thank you again, and I hope you will hear good things from us in the future."
I've been going to this school for a decade. It has had its ups and downs, but I wouldn't have wanted to grow up anywhere else. I've made friends that have come and gone, and memories that will do the same. But I know that no matter what, I will never forget this place, and I will never be anything less than grateful for the experiences I've had here. Good or bad, they are what made me who I am, and I'm learning to love who I am. One of my first memories here was of a young me in Children's House, playing the ghost of a dead cat or dog during a game of house at recess. Looking back, I am slightly concerned that I had such a morbid fascination with death in kindergarten. But to each their own, and ultimately I guess my classmates just went along with it. Okay, well, speaking of which, thank you to my classmates for testing my patience and ultimately winning. But in all seriousness, I love you guys. And I never cease to be amazed by how patient our teachers were with us throughout the years. I've been luckier than most when it comes to teachers. From 4th through 6th grade, I had Sarah and Bill, who always stayed calm and patient, and they were both my teachers during quarantine. And from 7th to 8th, I've had Brian and Hillary, who not only taught me the curriculum, but how it is applied to life and connected to current events. I'm so grateful to have had such an amazing selection of teachers, classmates, and family to grow up around. And finally, thank you to my lovely family, especially my mother, for allowing me to attend this wonderful school. You're my rock and my best friend. These have been some of the most important years of my life, and I am glad to have spent them in a place where I've constantly been surrounded by such an amazing selection of people. These years have flown by, and I'm scared to leave, but I know that I'm ready. And in the wise words of Cheryl Strayed, I don't feel sad or happy. I don't feel proud or ashamed. I only feel that in spite of all the things that I've done wrong in getting myself here, I've done right. Although I have many people to thank, I've realized that I should thank myself as well. I've grown up comparing myself to everyone else, even though we all have our own challenges or are all in different situations. So remember, celebrate your own victories as well. I've learned to focus on myself and the progress I've made. I'm so proud of myself today and everybody else. Finally, I'll leave you all with another one of my favorite quotes. It is impossible for you to go on as you were before, so you must go on as you never have. Don't surrender all your joy for an idea you used to have about yourself that isn't true anymore. Cheryl Strayed, good night, and reluctantly, goodbye.
I think Pink Floyd said it best. On Time they sing, one day you'll find 10 years have got behind you. No one told you when to run, you missed the starting gun. Time flies fast and we have no way to stop it. One moment you could be mere months old, captivated by a new world with a fresh pair of eyes. And the next it's time to graduate middle school. As I'm stood at this lectern, I feel I should reflect on our time together. These memories are something to behold and to remember. Enjoying life is a journey. It does not stop at some random point on the way. The real leaders of life are the ones who blaze trails, hungry for adventure, constantly asking, where to next? They are the creators of new paths, even if they aren't popular. That's who I wish to be, a person who designs routes rather than taking the most used. I wish to take the unpaved back roads rather than the highway. On the Harper's Ferry class trip we had earlier this May, we met a wizened man named Mike. His abundance of energy caught me by surprise. We found later that he is very passionate about what he does and believes in. He hates hiking, he loves hiking, hates war, and advocates for world peace. I liked him very much. He was also a great speaker. His small speech about the environment brought me to tears. Without his influence, I wouldn't be telling you about life being a journey. No matter what aspect of life I reflect on, Mike's strong, intelligent persona will always echo on. I wish him all the best. The SJMS class of 2022 features a wide variety of future schools. While my classmates are enrolling to big-name schools like St. Charles Preparatory and Wellington, I chose to create my own path by going to a quainter academy by the name of the Graham School. My classmates, in return, likened its name to the famous cracker. I don't blame them. They are a pretty good snack. Though I do wish them the best on their journey, on their high school adventures elsewhere, I'll embark on my trail with my own map and compass. And so on this journey, I have many to thank for my opportunity. First, I thank my parents, Paul and Roxanne, for deciding to send me to SJMS and their unending support and love. My brother, JJ, who I thank for the brotherly escapades we had together since we could talk. You must be super excited for me to come with you. I thank my teachers who have been here with me since the beginning. I thank the many friends I have made on my journey so far and the ones I will make in the future. I also thank the rest of my family for standing strong throughout the years. The Hollinage brood is a robust one. Finally, I thank all the heroes and magnificent people I do not have ample time to acknowledge. Thank you for all your gifts, big and small. I leave you in the words of guitar legend Jimi Hendrix. The story of life is quicker than the blink of an eye. The story of love is hello, goodbye, until we meet again. Thank you.
All right.
As Hillary Day Piano says, you can get excited about the future, the past won't mind. I'm excited. This is the first big change lots of us are going to experience. Being the leader of this school has been amazing. I remember being a little first grader, running out to play soccer with the big, tall, scary 8th graders, waiting for it to be me. Now that I'm the big, tall, scary 8th grader, I can tell you it's just as fun as I thought it would be. The amount of friends I've made throughout this year has been amazing. Seb, Jeffrey, Harold, Jack Jensen, and even Sangwoo. Him and I have been joking about me being his dad for just this school year, and he is amazing, and I wish him the best in the future. Out of the friends I've made at SJMS, I'll have Harper and Lucy moving on with me to Columbus Academy. Harper and I have been best friends since I can remember, and I wouldn't change it even if I could. This school has been amazing, from Miss Bethany telling me to go to sleep during nap time, to Kathy Kohler always doing flashcards with me. Even Sarah and Evan taking us to Big Fun when we finished our work for the month. Let me tell you, that's motivation. Doing work and getting candy for it. Then there's Hillary and Brian, who I met for the first time just last year. Now it's hard to imagine school without them. Thank you guys so much. Roxanne, who gets us almost whatever we need. I still want to say thank you for buying us the glaze during our pottery. And all the other teachers for being understanding of my outside sports schedule and making each class entertaining and fun. I want to thank my family. First, my sister, who usually reads my essays and gives me harsh but helpful feedback. You'll probably be reading this essay and giving me harsh but helpful feedback. You've always been there to give me helpful advice for life and school. Thank you to my mom and dad for deciding to send me to this school. It shaped me into a person I couldn't imagine without this school. I also want to thank you for letting me skip all those Fridays to travel to hockey tournaments who knows where. The main thing I'll be taking away from this school for myself is self-motivation, for athletics and academics. We have so much freedom and it's amazing. It teaches you when you can talk to friends and when you need to sit by Brian and focus. This has made me who I am today. But that does not mean I'm not ready to move on. In fact, everyone here has prepared me well for the next chapter. As Jonathan Lockwood Hugh wrote, celebrate endings, for they precede new beginnings.
About halfway through the 8th grade school year, Mariah and I decided to go down to the gym to come up with our own games during recess. We'd ask each other questions as we shot the volleyball into the basketball net, and one of them really stuck with me. We would say, if you could go back and change it, insert a not so good experience here, or forget about it, would you? And even for the scenarios that we really didn't like, we always said, no. And not just because it broadens time-space continuum lessons, but because without those events being just as they were, what might have happened? Maybe I wouldn't have ended up being more confident this year. I wouldn't have ended up talking to more people. And I wouldn't have ended up realizing that no matter what anybody says, I'm amazing just the way I am. For instance, if I could go back and change the fact that I was in a 3-person math group with people that I basically didn't know up until the first day of middle school, I never would have met Atticus and Will, and I never would have realized what amazing people they were. Even though it felt scary at first, I would never want to change it. I think that's true for most of the events I've been through here, because every single one is so important. Thank you to Bill, Evan, Sarah, and Laura for every single one of those upper elementary moments. And to all the amazing teachers, special teachers, and office staff who helped my siblings through Children's House, Lower Elementary, and Upper Elementary. Last year, even though we were in the library and always sitting at our socially distanced desks, Brian and Hillary and all of our amazing special teachers found ways to make life fun, giving me even more moments that I would never ever want to change. Things that seemed scary at the beginning of the year, like that math class, were fun by the end. Thank you to Hillary for always finding funny ways to make math and science interesting, fun, and different. And to Brian for not making history and geography my worst nightmares. I was terrified in the beginning because geography is not my strong suit and I can't memorize dates very well. But you taught us that history isn't about memorizing dates. It's about learning from our mistakes and looking toward the future, realizing how we can build on what we already know. Thank you for all those moments that I'll never forget. And thank you to my family who's helped me so much. To my parents for forcing me to stick with it even when I didn't want to. I'll always remember you tolerating all of my complaining because you knew that in the end it would be worth it, and it was. I'm so glad that I got to have all these experiences, and thank you for sacrificing so much for me so that I could have them. I hope this shows you that I really am grateful for everything you do, even if sometimes I find it hard to express it. And to Max and Katie for always keeping me so positive and making me laugh and never ever leaving me alone. I wouldn't have it any other way. Max, you're doing great with fencing and you're already spelling words that I don't really understand. I'm going to have to do my best to keep up. Kate, you're one of a kind, silly, smart, and people say we're so alike, but I think you've already overcome so many obstacles that I still struggle with. I hope I can learn from both of you or just keep up. Good luck to all of my toddler and children's house buddies. You guys made this year so fun, and I'm going to miss you. Always remember how amazing you are. And lastly, but most importantly, thank you to my classmates. You guys have done so much for me, and to all of you I give the biggest thank you. Atticus for making me laugh, but also taking me seriously. Will for making me smile when I was down and teaching me all the reasons you should never be famous. Mateo for being constantly forgiving when I make mistakes and always kind and loyal. Matthew for teaching me to think outside the box and see things differently and more creatively. Your writing skills are really inspiring. Dominic for teaching me that you don't have to be all one thing. You can be loud and quiet at the same time. Nick S. for constantly correcting my grammar and being so patient through all of my mistakes of learning the states and capitals. Thank you for being so nice. Nick K. for pushing me out of my comfort zone just enough to show me that being confident with who I am isn't bad, encouraging me to do my best and giving me some good advice. Arthur, for teaching me about planes, energy, and a bunch of other random things I'd never heard of before, and for all the funny conversations and comments. I'm so glad you got to be a part of our class this year. Ava, for listening to all my crazy thoughts, dreams, and other random stuff that I can't even begin to classify, and just being a great friend. Harper, for teaching me to stay positive, be more confident, and to stick up for what I like, no matter what anybody else thinks. Mariah, for sticking by me through all of upper elementary and middle school. Thanks for being accepting and having a lot of fun with me. Tilly, for the goofy back and forth rant, so we both needed to get out some energy, and being open to my crazy ideas when you could tell they were never going to work. I'd like to end with a quote that I think says everything I just said, but much better. It's adapted from the movie The Perks of Being a Wallflower, which personally I haven't seen, but this quote makes it sound amazing. I know these will all be stories someday, and our pictures will just be old photographs. We'll all be somebody's mom or dad, but right now these moments are not stories. This is happening, and I can see it. This one moment when you know you're not a sad story. You're alive and you stand up and see the lights on the buildings and everything that makes you wonder. And you're listening to that song on that drive with the people you love most in this world. And in this moment, I swear, we are infinite.
Letting go means to come to a realization that some people are a part of your history, but not a part of your destiny. Steve Maraboli. Wow. I have watched many people stand up here before me and give their speech, and now it's my turn. I've been here for a decade. I started when I was 4, never knowing I was going to get the opportunity to be able to go to school. I've always looked up to the older kids, and now I am the older kid. Thank you all for helping me on my journey. Thank you to my parents who chose a school for me, drove me to school, and have always supported me no matter what. Alyssa for always turning on my lights and waking me up so I can get to school. Now we will be going to different schools for the first time ever. My teachers who have helped me on my journey to get to where I am today. Brian for putting up with the 8th grade girls always sitting at your desk and talking about the most random things. Lucy and I annoying you on the bus on our class trips and getting off topic every class for half an hour. Hillary for listening to the girls ranting about all the drama in the class and always having fun math lessons. Lucy for always being there no matter what I need and for being a great friend. Matilda, I met you when I was 4 when I didn't really understand the school because I started a couple months into the school year. Ever since, we have always been great friends, even when you left and came back 3 times. Harper, I've known you for a long time, and you are always in the best mood, and you make me laugh whenever I'm around you. Ava, for talking to me about whatever was happening in your life and listening to whatever was happening in mine. Thank you for being there when I was nervous about my first ever basketball practice at a different school. And to the 8th grade boys, for always making school interesting. Thank you all for helping me through my steps in life. I'm excited to see where I can go from here and to see where Bishop Watterson can take me. This place has given me so many great memories that I'm excited to look back on. As Zig Ziglar once said, success is not a destination, it's a journey. Thanks.
The real test is not whether you avoid this failure, because you won't. It's whether you let it harden or shame you into inaction, or whether you learn from it, whether you choose to persevere. Barack Obama. I've heard it time and time again, failure is just another way to succeed. You have to fail before you can succeed. SJMS has taught me that it's okay to say, I need help, because there will always be someone who can help you. I've made plenty of friends throughout my journey here at SJMS. My favorite memory at SJMS was in aftercare. After the long day of school, all the students in aftercare would go down to Ryan Hall and eat snack together before we'd go outside. It was fun to see everyone in the school. I made friends during this time with people who were in 1st grade and with people who were in 8th grade. I would like to thank my parents who worked and worked just to allow me to attend this school. I truly am grateful for all the sacrifices that are put towards me being able to take part in everything that I do. Thank you, Brian and Hillary, because they taught me basic skills like participating in discussion, treating everyone with the respect they deserve. Next, I would like to thank my UE teachers, Bill and Laura, for teaching me how to manage my time and reflect upon the work that I accomplished. Thank you, Hannah, for teaching me and the rest of the band that we need each other to get better and that without working together, nothing will get accomplished. I would also like to thank Christina for expanding my Spanish vocabulary and always making sure we had a fun time in class while learning. I feel it is necessary to thank the people who have known me since I was a little kid. So thank you, Will, for being my best friend all the way up until 8th grade. We sometimes got into arguments, but aside from that, we have been with each other since 1st grade. Finally, I would like to thank my brother Luca. Even though we don't always get along, I can't thank him enough for the person he's turned me into. I've been attending SJMS my entire life, and now I think I'm ready to move on and thrive in a new environment. Thank you.
When I was young, I never thought I would like school. I've been at St. Joseph for 4 years, and these 4 years have been crazy. Learning how to balance school and athletics, I want to say thank you to my mom for bringing me to SGMS. I knew she had a plan for me, and she needed me to learn that no matter what I was going through, she was always going to have my back. She helped me when I had more important things to do, and she put all her energy in working and providing the best opportunities for me. My mom and I have always gone through time not knowing what's going to happen next. She has put her time into making me the best student athlete I could be, from getting me the best trainers to helping me in my next step to high school. When someone throws something at us, we would always make it through. Thank you, Mom, for always helping me, making my decisions, and sticking right by me on my choice to high school. Without you, I would not be standing here. Then there's my grandpa, Hugo Quint. He came in my 8th grade year for athletic director, and he has helped me learn more about sports and made me go out of my comfort zone. So thank you. For the dumbest things seem fun. Next, I want to say thank you to my grandma for picking me up every single day from school and helping me in my 6th grade year on online learning. Okay, everyone knows Ryan. He came into my life my 7th grade year and always made my home feel safe. So thank you for supporting me. Thank you, Jude, for always keeping me on my feet and making life fun. During my time here, I made the best friendships. I want to say thanks to the many people on my journey. Lucy, for all the times she has made me laugh and for helping me find myself. Thank you, Lucy, for the late night talks and making me feel like I had a true sister. Harper, for just making life fun and for always having a smile on your face and a million Bath & Body Works perfumes. Mariah, for being my first real friend at St. Joseph and for sharing a connection to basketball. Nick K, for making me feel confident and make the dumbest things seem fun and the boring things in class. All these people in my class have made me become a better me. I now have to walk out knowing I'm probably not going to see these people again. I'm not going to see the people who have always been supporting me and have been in my class since 5th grade. 4 years I've spent with these people. In the past 4 years, I have become so close that they probably know everything about me. It will be hard to let go of our journey together, but you need to let people come into your life and let go knowing that they have taught you something. I want to say a quote. Surround yourself with people who are going to make you higher. Oprah Winfrey. My final thank you is to the teachers. Thank you, Christina and Jen, for making special seem enjoyable. Christina, thanks for believing that I could do good in Spanish. Jen, thank you for letting us have fun in gym, and you were always one of my favorite gym teachers. Christina and Jen came to Harper's Ferry. I hope they had a fun time. I know it was amazing having them there for the talks and for just the experience. Thank you, Brian, for helping me open my mind and for always being open-minded. Brian knew my love for basketball and all the opportunities I had in front of me. Thank you, Hillary, for the many adventures learning about math and about gravity. Even when we had to be in a library, Brian and Hillary made it fun, and they always made our weaknesses feel strong. Thank you, Bill and Laura, for being my first teachers at St. Joseph. You made me learn how to become a Montessori child. And to everyone else I did not mention, you all have made a positive impact. I want to end with a quote. Memories play a confusing role. They make us laugh when we remember the times we cried and make us cry when we remember the times we laughed. Thank you.
I have heard countless times from a very opinionated mother that life is about our relationships with others. As I stand here before you today, graduating from the 8th grade, I know the relationships that I've built over the last 11 years at St. Joseph's Montessori will have a permanent mark and will stick with me forever. There have been good times and bad times. Even during those 1 or 2 bad times, St. Joseph's was still a very special and safe place. There are many teachers, several principals, my carpool parents, friends that have left, and friends that are still here, that have made an everlasting impression. I value the relationships I have with each and every one of you. I'm excited, nervous, thankful, hopeful, sad, and if I'm being completely honest, a little apprehensive about leaving St. Joe's and going to an all-boys high school. A lot of my friends will not be joining me, but at least I have you, Dominic, to spice things up. The amount of people that I'd like to thank would probably take over an hour. So I had to trim it down. Eventually, I got below the 20 and was told to trim it down again. First and foremost, a big shout out and thank you to Miss Carolyn and Miss Consuelo. You loved and accepted me as if I were your own child or grandchild. That unconditional acceptance has meant everything to me. I will never forget the both of you. Thank you, Kathy Kohler, my 1st through 3rd grade math and science teacher. I was afraid of math before having you as my teacher. Now it is one of my favorite subjects, and I thrive. Thank you, Sarah and Evan, for creating a wonderful classroom with Webster. I promise I will read and read and read more. Thank you, Hillary and Brian, for making class interesting and not boring. You kept my attention. Loved everything but Brian's tests. Thank you, Harper, Lucy, both Nicks, Sebastian, Jeffrey, Finn, Harold, and Will, for being completely honest with me, even when I don't want to hear it. Thank you for being selfless. You have truly made this world a better place by caring more for others than for yourself. Last but not least, I'd like to thank my parents and my mom and dad. They've been my biggest fans since I was born. They've always been on my side, so thank you. And also thanks for paying for my education. I look forward to coming back each year I'm in high school and visiting the greenhouse to see the wonderful things you are growing. What feels like is the end is only the beginning. I'm ready to go to St. Charles.
I've only been at this school for a year, and I would like to start out by acknowledging everyone who's helped me along the way. First, I have Brian and Hillary. Brian taught me a lot about history and a lot about everything that I needed to know about English. Hillary's taught me about math and science. Brian's helped me understand American history, writing, and book analysis. The other teachers that have helped me are the special teachers. Christina helped me understand and develop my Spanish skills. Jen helped me understand the importance of eating healthy and regularly exercising. Laura's helped me understand the history of religion, and Hannah has helped me understand music and how to read it. I'd also like to acknowledge everyone in the class for being nice to me and welcoming me. They made the classroom a better learning space, and they were always willing to answer my questions. When I joined the school, I was really nervous and scared because all the other schools I've been to, they weren't so welcoming. But everyone was welcoming, and fast forward to the end of the year, I've made a lot of good friends,
and that I will never forget. I'm going to miss it here. And also, I'd like to acknowledge Corny for not escaping, and thank you for listening.
Hello. Thank you for the opportunity to speak for a couple of minutes tonight. For those who don't know me, my name is Nick Shaver. I've been going to SJMS for 11 years now, and I've enjoyed my experience here. To start, I would like to thank my current teachers, Brian and Hillary, for guiding me through my last 2 years at SJMS. Brian has been a great teacher for me, whether it's been preparing me for high school or just having casual conversations around school. Ryan has only been at SJMS for 3 years now, but I feel like I've known him for a lifetime. One of my favorite memories of my time at the school is being on the school basketball team. I would like to thank Brad Shank, Kyle Timken, Evan Boylan, Andy Turso, and Hugo Quint for leading the school team to multiple division-winning seasons during the years I played for SJMS. I will always remember having a great time playing basketball with my peers. I would also like to thank my past teachers over the years, whether it's Children's House 1, Primary 1, or middle school. You always prepared me for the next step. Lastly, thank you to my mom and dad for giving me the experience of a Montessori education, as it will set me up for bigger things in life. You guys have given me the support I need to thrive. While I'm very excited to attend the Wellington School, I'll always think of SJMS fondly. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Will Turso and I have been at SJMS for 12 years. If I were to sum up my time here, I would call it a roller coaster, a fun one. There were ups and downs, mostly ups. The only real down was quarantine and having to sit in my house all day, but even that proved its benefits. If I was asked about the single most important thing I learned at this school, it surprisingly would not be the first 10 amendments with Brian or the quadratic formula with Hillary. Not even the 3 current events of the day back in upper elementary. I would say the life skills I learned at this school, starting in Children's House, with learning how to roll up rugs and how to write. Then to lower elementary, learning how to use manners and how to give a presentation through interest fair. Next, upper elementary, where I learned how to construct a research paper and how to use a computer. And finally, middle school. Here I learned how to create a presentation and give it in front of an audience, whether it be my interest fair, lesson of distinction, or a graduation speech. Oh, and also how to analyze the different types of censorship used in Fahrenheit 451. Now I want to thank everyone that got me to where I am today. I want to first thank my parents for sending me here in the first place, paying for my education and supporting me the whole time. Next, I want to thank Ms. Carolyn and Consuelo for being the people to welcome me into St. Joe's and help me develop my love for the school. I will always remember everyone waiting their turn to do the pink tower. Although she's not here anymore, I want to thank my lower elementary teacher, Lindsay. She taught me all the groundwork and helped me discover what I like to learn. I thank Sarah and Evan. You always made our lessons fun and convinced me to do SRAs. You also made the start of everyday fun with CNN 10. I can't leave without thanking the specialists. I'll start with Roxanne, because you have been here throughout my whole time, and when classes changed, I would always look forward to art class. Unlike art, the music teacher here has changed a few times while I was here. I thank Sandra for convincing me to join the band in the first place, Connor for teaching me how to play the trumpet, and Hannah for making me an all-around better trumpet player and for getting me to take band more seriously. Now Spanish. Christina, you taught me so much in just a few years. It's amazing thinking I can have a conversation with someone in 2 different languages, so thank you. Finally, I want to thank Brian and Hillary. You guys really topped off my experience here at SJMS, and I certainly would not be where I am without you.
You guys helped me to prepare for high school, whether it's getting into advanced math thanks to Hillary or honors classes thanks to Brian. When I came into middle school, I barely knew how to write a literary analysis or how to do algebra, but now I feel more than prepared to take the next step in my life, so thank you. These past 12 years have been a journey I will never forget and will definitely be something I look back on often.
Maybe we should have rehearsed this part. Over the last 2 years, I've had the privilege of getting to know these amazing students sitting before us tonight. Maybe it was all the time spent bonding in the library last year, but this group has always felt more like a group of siblings rather than classmates. Throughout the last 2 years, these students have impressed me with their optimism, resilience, and determination. Harper and Nick K, thank you for always bringing joy, enthusiasm, and volume to our lessons and class meetings. Ava, Mariah, and Tilly, thank you for always being willing to help with bulletin boards and class decorations, and nearing the end of this year for your heated arguments in math class. Arthur and Matthew, thank you for sharing your math and science puns with me and listening to my own without rolling your eyes too much. Dominic and Atticus, thank you for acting as positive mentors for the 7th years this year. Lucy and Nick Shaver, thank you for always being the calm voices of reason throughout the chaos that sometimes is what middle school is. Mateo and Will, thank you for always having jokes and your willingness to always share new and interesting science facts. And last but not least, parents, thank you for raising such wonderful human beings. It really has been a pleasure working with them these last 2 years.
I'm so excited I get to do this in front of you now. It's been a few years. It's great. It's lovely seeing everybody. So now you can take a deep breath. Everybody take a deep breath and blow it out. The hard part is over. I've saved my really attractive cold voice for all of you tonight, so enjoy the Kathleen Turner voice. Okay. So here we go. We have another poem for you. Are you ready, Harper? Okay, she's not ready. Okay. Here we are again as another year ends. It happens so fast it's hard to comprehend. While at St. Joe's, few experiences were missed. You could call it your grade school bucket list. You shared birthday treats and went on class trips. Between the lessons and tests, you made many friendships. You also served our school to the highest degree with carpool and recycling and pizza delivery. All these fond memories, little to overlook. This would give you the material for a very thick book. With your many great talents, you all will go far as pilots. I'm looking for that free ticket, Arthur. Or artists, or even soccer stars. Your wait is now over to play an exciting part. As grads and alumni, you now have a fresh start. I wish you the best for a healthy lifespan, and always remember, I'll be your biggest fan.
Hello, my name is Michael Warner, and I am the Director of Campus Ministry at St. Charles Preparatory School, as well as the parent of 3 St. Joe's students. But tonight I'm representing St. Charles and wanting to acknowledge publicly 2 of the graduates here. So if Atticus and Dominic would come up here with me, just so I have a few words. first, again, thank you to Brenda for allowing me to celebrate the accomplishments of the entire class. Again, we appreciate at St. Charles the work that you do here and the staff here building leaders for the Columbus Diocese of these young men and women. Graduates, congratulations on all of your accomplishments and achievements as you continue your education into high school. I can tell you as someone who's taught St. Joe's graduates for the past 15 years that they are extraordinarily prepared for this next transition. So that excitement and uncertainty that you have, I just affirm from teaching students these last 15 years, your preparedness. At St. Charles, the young men who attend achieve success both inside and outside the classroom in marvelous ways. And so it's my privilege to sort of recognize these two young men for their academic accomplishments and their acceptance to St. Charles. Okay, both of you. As well as to present Dominic Paul with the St. Charles Charism Scholarship Award of $2,000. And finally, to let Atticus know that there is no such thing as spicing things up.
Okay. So originally I was going to recycle the speech I did last year until Harper started to recite it earlier today. Almost word for word, and she's laughing because she knows it's true. So I had to come up quickly with something new. As the English and history teacher, I often use the words of others, whether it's the U.S. Constitution, Gettysburg Address, Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. So it's interesting, I often find it difficult to use my own words, especially when it's something as emotional as this. For those of you who've been able to watch me, you've seen me cry multiple times already tonight. So I thought, I'm going to use the words of somebody else. It's, we prepare for the speeches. We study a lot of speeches, and one of my favorite speeches is Jim Valvano's ESPY speech. To me, there are 3 things we should do every day. Number 1 is laugh. You should laugh every day. Number 2 is to think. You should spend some time in thought. Number 3 is you should have your emotions moved to tears. Could be happiness, could be joy. But think about it. If you laugh, if you think, and if you cry, well, that's a full day. That's actually one heck of a day. All of you, every one of you, have allowed me to do this every day we have spent together. You've made me laugh, you've made me think, and you've made me cry. But it wouldn't be a Brian speech unless I gave some life advice. Isn't that right, Lucy? So I want to share something from Coach John Wooden. Be more concerned with your character than your reputation, because your character is what you really are, while your reputation is merely what others think you are. And be true to yourself. Make each day a masterpiece. Help others. Drink deeply from good books. Make friendship a fine art. Build a shelter against a rainy day. But always remember that first line. Be true to yourself. Originally, like many of the speeches here, I had a line for everybody. I wouldn't get through that, so I scrapped that. Finally, I want to share just my own words. I'm proud to have gotten to know each and every one of you. I'm humbled to have a small opportunity to be part of your journey. I'm sad to see you exit SJMS. but excited to see what you will accomplish next. Godspeed, one and all. Thank you for allowing me to be part of your lives. And remember, I love you, and I will always be your teacher. Thank you.
Didn't they do a great job?
Yes.
And now the time you all have been waiting for. So Brian and Hillary, would you come up here? Okay, as I call your name, you'll come up and receive your graduation certificate. The first, Harper Bonensegna Mullins.
Double check it.
Make sure it's yours. Is it yours?
Wait, where's the name? Oh, Harper Bond. Yeah.
She knows how to read her name. Yay! Matteo Bonomi.
Well, you're staying around, Matteo.
Yay! Always really slow, and Jennifer will put him in order. Matilda Carlarn. Better known as Tilly. Congratulations, sweetheart. Matthew Olenich. Nick Keglovich. You're welcome. Lucy Lee. Mariah Mullaney. Dominic Paul. Ava Quint. Atticus Reynolds. Arthur Saleh. Nick Shaver. And Will Terso. present SJMS class of 2022. Please stand. Stand up. Turn around and face your parents. Thank you so much for sharing your beautiful children with us. It's been a wonderful year. Now go have cupcakes. Boys and girls, you can join your parents. I should say adolescents, you can join your parents and have some cupcakes. Sorry. Great job.
You know what?